Alright, how we doing today, guys? It's Ben again with Coyote Outdoors, and it's a nice cold Michigan winter day here. But today I got a neat little thing here, and I was going to show you guys how we put it on. It's a BD Diesel Performance low pressure LED kit for the Ram trucks here. This is a 24 valve. And as you know, if the fuel pumps overheat, they go bad, and that's due to low fuel pressure. And this right here will tell you in the cab if wheel pressure drops too low. This is a 5 PSI kit, which is fine. And this is a low pressure alarm kit for a 98 to 2007 Dodge red. And the part number is 1081130. I'll try to get you a decent picture of it here in the sun. And there's the part number for you. So let me show you how we get this thing put in. It says to drill a 1/4 inch hole wherever you want to mount it, so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to just go ahead and do a quick little 1/4 inch hole. All right, nice and clean. And that's where we're going to mount the LED through. So when I get to that, I'll go ahead and continue on. All right, we got the red LED. We got the red LED out. I'm going to stretch the wires out here. Really long, thin, gangly ones. We're just going to feed them through the hole. Now, in the instructions, it says to put a small dab of silicone here to hold the LED in place, but that's a really tight fit. I'm not going to do that. Maybe if it vibrates out in the future, I'll stick some hot glue or something on there. But now the next step is, it says to wire our red wire to 12 volt key power, and we're going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so now what I did is I went ahead and put the upper dash back in place. You can see the LED right there. So I ran the wires down under here. There was already a convenient little hole right here that somebody in the past probably ran something through. So I pulled the red wire through to this little fuse panel here, which is where this is going to hook up. And I'm going to go ahead and get my multimeter out and check to see which of these fuses come on with key power. And in the kit, they actually include a little tap here and a little piece here to help you tap into a fuse a lot easier. All right, so we got our test light out, and we confirmed that fuse number 3 here is a key-only fuse. So we're going to go ahead and pull that bad boy out and use their little fuse tapper here. Don't know if you can see how that works, but it just slides over the prong on the fuse here, just like so. We're going to insert it back into its spot. Fuse number 3. All right, I had a little bit of trouble getting that fuse back in there with the fuse tapper. Let me go ahead and I'm going to try to get you a little bit of a better shot. As you can see, it's right there on the number 3 fuse. They claim this LED only draws less than half a milliamp or half an amp. So really any fuse will be good on there. Now we're just going to take our red one, we're going to cut it, we're going to crimp the 90-degree connector on there, and we're going to hook it into that fuse. Let me go ahead and get that done. Alright, so I went ahead and crimped that 90-degree connector on there. I left the full length of the wire on there, just in case in the future, when one of the times I'm working on this truck, I decide to relocate this light maybe up into a pod cluster or something at some point in time, I have the ability to do so. So I'm actually just going to tuck that wire right in there. Then we're going to go ahead and push this wire on through to the engine compartment, and I got a really cool tool for that I'm going to show you. All right, guys, so here's a really cool tool from Snap-on. It's the WINS 100G. It is a 5-piece wire installation tool. Comes with all that stuff. Got the handle, 4 different, I guess you can call them needles. And what this is for routing wires through your dash. Like if you've got a wire grommet, or sorry, a rubber grommet in your dash, you go ahead and you take this and you poke it through that grommet using the needle end, and then it's hollow. And then you feed your wire through all the way to the other end, and then you just pull the tool back out. And I'll show you how you use that right now. Shout out to Clifton, the Snap-on guy that I do all my business with. He's awesome. Hooked me up with a green one because he knows that's the color I like. So let me go ahead and show you how this tool is used. All right, so what you want to do, is find yourself a grommet that you can easily get through. I selected the smallest needle that comes with it because it's a really, really small wire. Now on these Rams, there's a rubber grommet right here. There's nothing in it. It goes right through to the back side of the steering. So what I'm going to do, or back side of the dash, is just take this, push it through, just like that, all the way through. Now if you look, that is through there. So what we're going to do is go to the inside. All right, now that we're back on the inside, you can see that right here is the end of my needle coming through that grommet. So I'm going to feed my black wire through there, through that hole in the end of the needle, and out to the engine compartment. Now obviously you can use this tool in either direction. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that and we'll get back. All right, now if you look, you can see the end of my wire is coming out the end of that handle. So now that that's through there, all I got to do is pull this back out of that grommet, like so. Pull the wire through the handle, and there we go. We got a nice wire, passed right through that rubber grommet, no problems, with a really, let's see if I can zoom in on it, a really nice clean hole that probably, well, we'll find out. I don't think will leak or anything because we didn't cut it with a big box cutter or something. So let's move on to the rest of the installation. All right, the next thing we're going to do is install our banjo bolt adapter, which is what the pressure switch is going to seal into. And on these particular trucks, the 2000 with the VP44, we're going to be going with this fitting here, this banjo bolt here. This is the inlet for the fuel. So we're going to go ahead and take this out and put in that adapter. All right, now we got the old banjo bolt and old sealing washers out. That was a 17 millimeter, by the way. So now we're going to go ahead and put the new one in with the brand new supplied sealing washers. Okay. All right. Now you can see I've got that adapter installed in there with the new sealing washers. Now we're going to go ahead and install the pressure sending unit here. Now what we're going to do is they don't provide this with the kit, so you're going to have to get your own. On the threads here, you're going to have to put some pipe dope or some nylon thread. It's thread sealant. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, now I've got that the pressure sensor, sending unit, whatever you want to call it. That is installed. So the original nut to take it out, the original banjo bolt to take it out was a 17. The adapter's a 19. And then the unit here, I didn't really look for a big enough socket. I just went ahead and got a pair of channel locks and tightened it down. Now I use the liquid thread sealant. You can use whatever you want, just whatever you use. make sure you don't get any, you don't cover the hole with any tape or get any thread sealant in the hole in the end of the sensor and the tape. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to put the fitting on the end of that black wire and stick it in the end of this unit here. Alright, so on the other end of that black wire, with the other terminal end they provide you with here, blade end, we're going to stick the wire in there. Actually, this wire is so tiny. Let me go ahead and get this started in my crimper. We're going to stick the wire in there. Jeez, oh Pete. That sucker is tight. That's a tough terminal. Alright, and we're going to crimp it on there. Make sure I got a good crimp. And I did. I'm just going to feed the wire around and plug it into that blade on the back of that unit. Just plugs right on there. I'll come back in a little bit after I make sure it works and zip tie that wire up all nice. Let's go ahead and go inside the cab and see if it worked for us. Alright, now we're back in the cab here. Let's go ahead and see. Alright, the red light comes on after I started. After a few seconds, that light should go off. Alright, now we're going to give that light a second. If it goes off, we're good to go. And there it went off. So I think our system's working. That's how you put in a low pressure system light and a 2000 Ram with the 24 valve Cummins. Alright, so in closing, this is a very, very easy kit to install. I'm pretty confident to say that anybody who's got a basic socket set and some basic mechanical skills could easily put this setup in. It took me about 45 minutes overall. Really took me about an hour and a half, but you know, I was trying to film a video at the same time, but about 45 minutes is what it would take. But you know, I think it'll be a pretty good setup. It's an early warning system to keep me from frying my VP44, and that's really what I'm looking at for this. If you have any questions, concerns, want to ask me why or I did or didn't do something, feel free to go ahead and put a comment in on the video, and I'll do my best to answer your questions and get back to you. Once again, this is Ben with Coyote Outdoors, and thank you guys for watching.